So I'm Rhiannon Jones, and I'm a student at the University of Southampton. I'm in my third year of my PhD. I work at the National Oceanography Centre, so I study the impact of melting glaciers upon the downstream environment. So I travel to the polar regions, for example, the West Antarctic and the Arctic, to see how glaciers melting is impacting the chemistry and biology of the oceans. So in my first year of my PhD, I applied for the Policy Associate Scheme. I wasn't successful on my first attempt, but I did get in contact with the team for feedback. And through that, Giles offered me a placement working with some researchers in my department on collaborating between UK and Russia on Arctic science. So for that placement, I worked on stakeholder engagement and policy impact, and we prepared a policy brief on how we could facilitate UK-Russia collaborations in Arctic science. So on completion of that placement, I was then offered another placement by Irina in the team, and this was on the Greenprint Project. So the Greenprint is an initiative led by the New Forest National Park authorities with partners at the University of Portsmouth, the University of Southampton, through Public Policy Southampton, and also the Southern Policy Centre. So the Greenprint seeks to build a green recovery, or rather a greenprint for the green recovery in the Solent region. So my task with Greenprint was as a policy researcher, and so we came up with 5 priorities for the Greenprint green recovery. So just a bit of background on these. These were a natural health service, so how can we connect people and health with the natural world? Net zero with nature, so how can we build a net zero world while also maintaining the excellent environments that we have in our region? World-class blue and green environments, so how can we maintain but also enhance the regions around us and restore natural spaces? The fourth one is quality in design and build, so how can we build excellent spaces towards net zero as well, so that might be net zero building design. And the fifth priority is a centre of excellence for green skills and jobs. So this is building the workforce and building the tools to facilitate that workforce towards a green recovery. So I worked with experts in the region on these 5 topics, and I determined the priorities within these topics. So I built objectives that would have to be met for the Greenprint of the region for local authorities, universities and higher education, and small and medium enterprises. I then brought these initiatives along with my colleagues to the local authorities to build a case for the Greenprint across the region. So my aims were essentially to build on the 5 priorities already established and bring detail into those priorities. So what exact actions and objectives would have to be met in order to reach those priorities. So if I can give an example, for quality in design and build, I suggested that we perhaps need a mandate for zero carbon build across the region. So local authorities and councils would adopt a zero carbon build plan, and all housing developments in the region should work towards that plan. So I worked with experts in these sectors and then brought these ideas to local authorities, and they are now taking those forward through the Partnership for South Hampshire, and will work with partners to deliver the objectives. So working with local authorities was a completely different experience to me than the work I usually do as part of my PhD. So the fast pace and delivery is completely different, and the language I had to use for local authorities was also completely different. So learning that communication style and that delivery was really important to the delivery of the project as a whole. So I would say be proactive. For example, if you don't get something first time round, make sure you speak to the right people and see what it is that you need, the experience you might need to get involved in policy. Public policy in Southampton were excellent for that and are incredibly engaging. So I would really advise you to get in contact with them as well and see if there's anything that they can advise you to do, or any projects or opportunities they may be able to provide for you. I also have done a placement with DEFRA, and from conversations with my manager there, he pointed out that knowing the policy impact of your research is really important. So, and also the policy priorities of the institution that you're working for. So, for example, do you know the policy priorities of the University of Southampton, and can you link your project with that? If you can then take that to stakeholders either in your local region or UK government as a whole, or even internationally, you can build a case for increasing the impact of your research in the policy space. I also advise, to make those connections where you can, go to those events where you can, and build those networks. That's really important in policy, building a network and maintaining that network. So if you can be bold and brave and confident and go and seek out those connections, that will bring you many opportunities.